Middle-earth knows the tale of the War of the Ring. But there are older tales. Tales told around warm fires on cold winter nights. Tales passed down from the old to the young. Tales that light a path through the dark.
What's up, everybody? It's Solon. Today we are here once again in Lord of the Rings Realms in Exile, and this time with a pretty exciting announcement. This coming Friday, January 31st, or if this date is past, January 31st, a new bookmark update is releasing for Lord of the Rings Realms in Exile, and that is the War of the Rohirrim and the Frozen North bookmark. Now, this takes place roughly 250 years before the time of the Ring, or before the War of the Ring, and I think that this amends something that I've had a big issue with the main mod, where there's always that impetus that you have to take on Sauron before you can do anything else that you want to. This time around, you know, Sauron is still in Mirkwood. He's not as big of a threat, so that you can do all sorts of other things now instead, you know, other storylines that you wanted to pursue. For today's video, I'm going to be focusing on the War of the Rohirrim. That's the big show-stopping part of this. And there's a few different story characters you can choose outside of this. From what I understand, Azog is one of them. I don't recall. I believe the King of Umbar is another one. This guy, or no, I'm sorry, this guy. I think he's another one. But I'm going to be playing as Lord Freca. Now, if you saw Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, this is the father to the antagonist in the movie. And then King Helm is obviously the King of Rohan, one of the primary protagonists of the movie. However, from what I understand, Helm's story is much more reactive to what Freca does, and I wanted to play sort of the more story-driven character, so we're going to be playing as Lord Freca here. And I realized I didn't read our little War of the Rohirrim, so let's just fix that real quick. An hour of devastation looms. In the north, Helm Hammerhand, Lord of the Riddermark, summons a council that may drastically change the face of Rohan, and may lead to his ultimate doom. Yet now the Rohirrim cannot look to their staunchest allies for aid. In the south, legions of Haradrim and Corsair fleets muster with newfound vigor, seeking to plunder the rich underbelly of the southern kingdom. Baron of Gondor must ready his realm for the threat. Unbeknownst to all, the long winter approaches, and to the people of the north it shall bring nothing but misery and suffering. Can Gondor and Rohan withstand the onslaught, or has the fortune of the free peoples turned against them? And we're going to be playing as Lord Freca, as I said. Freca, Lord of the Westmark and the Adorn, is a man of mixed heritage. Claiming descent from King Freywine of Rohan, Freca is also kin to the Dunlandings, which the Rohirrim have long feuded with. Though theoretically a vassal of King Helm, he has long ignored the royal summons and decrees of his titular overlord, for Freca has grown both rich and powerful. But King Helm is growing old, and Freca's heir in the prime of his youth, and so a scheme is born. Helm has an unwed daughter, and surely he cannot refuse Freca's aid with his great troubles. And with that, we shall begin. And so here we are. We are in the West March. I believe in the time of Lord of the Rings, this part has all fallen to the Dunlandings. I don't believe the West March is part of Rohan anymore in the the book, but I think the Westfold is like the furthest reach that they have. But for now, we are involved with Rohan, and let us just see. So we have Petition the King, we have Pay Homage. I'm assuming a story beat is going to come up, so we're not going to mess with any of those things. Let's focus on Stewardship, since he seems to be that sort of character. We have a decent army, actually, to start with here. We have a lot of Dunlandings, we have a lot of Outriders. This is an advanced start, so I'm curious. I think maybe it's just difficult for either one to win the war. Not too sure. We're going to find out. Lord of the Adorn. As I gaze out across my lands, I see the river Adorn winding its way through the fertile vale that shares its name. Its waters feeding the fields and pastures that sustain my people. Its currents carry more than life. A modest flow of trade passes down the river to the Isen, bringing the needs of both the Dunlandings and Rohirrim alike. Though it wasn't always the case, wealth grows here, slowly but surely, as steady as the river's course. My hall stands strong and my men grow loyal. Few among them would dare call me a vassal, though Helm yet names me so. I see no master here. Only a man whose grip on the Riddermark is firm but not unshakable. My son Wulf walks tall at 24 years of age, with fire in his heart and will to claim what is ours by right. The blood of kings flows in our veins, though some would call it thin. But how long will the golden hall of Edoras let us stand unchallenged? The time is near. I feel it. The time will come to test my mettle. And I suppose we're just going to wait a minute. Affirm descent from Freywine. You have to have the title of the Riddermark. We'll worry about that later. We don't want to spoil anything that could happen yet. I have seen the movie. If you guys haven't seen it, it's pretty decent. Summoned by the king. Not for the first time, a messenger from Edoras stands before me, bearing news once more of the king's council. A chance for King Helm of the Riddermark to gather his lords and to play at being the mighty master he deems himself. Yet I am no mere vassal to be summoned like a hound. He may not choose to believe it, but in my blood flows the blood of King Freywine, and my hold on the lands of the Adorn grows ever stronger. But long has Helm stewed over my past refusals, and his wrath is no small thing, even for one such as I. Another refusal may push him to at last act. If I am to go, I need not go humbly. Perhaps the time has come to show the strength of my position and secure the succession of Wulf, my one and only son. This is supposedly our ancestor, King Freywine of the Riddermark, who is... when did he die? 2680, so not actually that long ago, but they could theoretically be related. This option will opt you out of future narratives. I do like that if you refuse, it will tell you that this won't let you do anything. We're going to travel with a host of strength because I'm arrogant and he would do that. You can hear the drums of war, and we approach Edoras. The climb to Meduseld is steep, but my men and I ascend with purpose. As we step into the golden hall, light from the torches dance upon the tapestries of kings long past, and I fix my eyes only on Helm. Seated high and grim, his council falls silent at our intrusion. King Helm, I call, my voice ringing out. I see you hold your councils without me. Strange for a lord of my standing to be excluded when you went to such lengths to call me here. I smirk, letting the insult linger before continuing. But perhaps this is not the only poor judgment you have shown of late. I step forward, my son Wulf standing at my side. They say you would sell your daughter Hera to a Gondorian. Against her wishes, no less. Is this how you protect your own? By making us vassals to Gondor's whims? I gesture grandly, sweeping my arms. I offer you a better path. Let her marry my son, Wulf. Let us heal the division in our lands and forge a bond of strength. Or are you too proud to see sense? Well, what say you? Helm's eyes blaze with fury, but he masters himself after his nephew Freylef lays a claiming hand on his arm. The marriage to your son is a trifle, and you and I shall discuss it later. For now this council has matters at the moment to discuss. When the council at last ends, Helm rises and places his hand upon my shoulders. The king does not permit brawls in his house, but men are freer outside. Come. The cold evening air bites at my skin as we walk away from Meduseld. At last we stand in a dimly lit clearing, far from all others. Helm's voice cuts through the stone. You do not seek an alliance, Freca. You seek a throne. My blood boils with rage. How dare he? After all my work, all my strength, to stand here accused like a common thief? Old kings that refuse a prophet's staff may fall on their knees, I snarl, stepping closer, my voice trembling with fury. The heat of his gaze meets mine, and I know he will never respect me, never see me as his equal. The tension snaps, and my fist finds his face, then his gut, but Helm does not flinch. He stands like a mountain, unmoved by my rage, and I suddenly feel smaller beneath his unyielding gaze. I may have made a mistake. The world spins, and I feel the cold bite of the ground as my head strikes something hard, a rock, sharp and unyielding. My vision blurs, smearing torchlight and shadows into a single dizzying haze. The roar of voices around me becomes a distant, muffled clamor, drowned beneath the ringing in my ears. Warmth spreads across my face, and I know it for what it is. Blood. My blood. Suddenly, strong hands lift me, cradling me close. I hear my name, desperate and broken. Father! Wulf's voice carries above the noise, a cry torn from his very soul. My son's arms hold me tight, his chest heaving with grief. I struggle to open my eyes, to see him. There he is. Wulf, my only son. The fire in his eyes burns brighter than ever, and I feel pride even now. My lips move as I use the last of my energy to speak to him. The world's faint before all falls to darkness. Leave, Wulf. Go be safe. You are killed by King Helm. A formidable duelist. Oh. As the light fades from my father's eyes, his frame grows heavy in my arms, the spirit that made him strong slipping away, leaving only a broken shell. A howl rises in my chest, raw and unbidden. You will pay for this, Helm. I swear it. I will kill you for what you've done. My voice shakes with fury, grief ripping through me like a blade. Helm stands above me, a mountain of stone, his face cold and unyielding. You speak treason, Wulf. For this I banish you. Leave Rohan at once and never return. I stare up at him, hatred burning in my heart as tears and blood streak my face. He turns without another word, his his men following like shadows, disappearing into the golden hall. The doors close and I am left alone with my father and his men in the rain. I rise slowly, my voice hoarse but steady. Those who remain loyal to my father, gather what you can. We make for Dunland to seek refuge with my uncle, Cirith. This will not be the last time we set foot in Edoras. I swear, Helm, one day you will fall, and I will see it done. I've gained a nemesis because King Helm killed my father, and I lost all these ranks, and I have a new liege up here in the Dunlands. It's my uncle. A week has passed since my father's blood stained the earth of Meduseld. We fled swiftly from Rohan, my mother, my father's loyal companion Targ, and I finding refuge in the halls of my uncle. Sareth has welcomed us with open arms, his hospitality warm as the fires that burn in his great hall. Sareth mourned with me, sharing in my grief, but his words carry weight. Rohan took much from us. Now is the time to reclaim what is ours. He has given me refuge here in Dunland, a modest hold from which to gather my strength, yet the whispers from Rohan sting like salt on a wound. Hammerhand, they call him now. The fools look up to him with awe. My fists clench as the fire in my heart burns hotter. I will see the day when their whispers turn to silence, and Helm Hammerhand falls from his throne. Let the Riddermark tremble. I will not rest until it is mine. And it appears we are, we're just a vassal, so I'm assuming we have to wait a second, because we only have 1,000 troops, so that's clearly not going to do anything. He's going to be martial focused, makes the most sense. And it looks like he's a strategist, so we're going to put him into that. He's allied to this guy of the Westfold. He also has a truce with Isengard. Oh yes, Orthanc. Saruman does not live in Orthanc yet, so he's not here. I forgot about that. He came, when does he come? Is it shortly after they get rid of the Necromancer from Minas Morgul, which is literally just Sauron? They definitely should make him a little more shrouded, but obviously this is like a beta release. But I would assume unable to lead troops into battle. Oh, interesting. I would assume that maybe they're going to change that, because it'd be cool if he had like a different look. So apparently they've changed this with how these storyline ones work, because I was like, maybe I should wait a second and see what happens, but it looks to me like we've actually got some decisions here. So there's major decisions, war for Rohan, uniting the Dunlandings, and a suitable match. I think we should start with the war for Rohan. Among the scattered lords of Rohan, a few watch the shifting tides of power as closely as Thorne of the Wold. A marshal of the northern frontier, he is a man of quiet ambition and sharp cunning. His lands rugged and far from the king's gaze. While his strength is modest, Thorne harbors little love for Helm and has much to gain should the Riddermark fall. Thorne is an opportunist at heart. Should I declare war on Rohan and show the upper hand, he may well defect to my side without further incentive. Yet, I could secure his loyalty now by promising him greater power under my rule and forging a bond through marriage to his family. Leofwin, his daughter, is renowned for her beauty. Marrying her would not only win me Thorne's support, but also strengthen my claim to the throne. A Rohirrim bride would quiet doubts among the lords of the Mark, lending my rule the legitimacy of the old bloodlines I seek to reclaim. And how is he? He's got 1,200. And who is his daughter? Leofwin. She's a little sneaky. And then who is this guy? Oh boy. So you could, I see. So there's a couple different matches you could do. Or you can wait it out for, do we want to do this? Because he's kind of weak actually. Like he's not terribly strong. Although maybe marrying into the Riddermark would increase my odds. Hera was his closest friend, that's right. So Hera, daughter of King Helm, was once my closest friend. As children we would play together in the golden fields of the Mark, our laughter echoing through the hills. Those days are long gone. Yet the memories remain, untouched by the bitter years that followed. I hold great fondness for her still, though it is a sentiment I fear she does not share. Now the gulf between us is vast. Her father stands as my sworn enemy, the man who spilled my father's blood. My quest for vengeance can have done little to endear me to her, and yet I cannot abandon the hope that her heart might one day change. I don't believe this one makes any sense. I think in the movie this is what he goes with, and it's very foolish. I think I'm going to secure the alliance with the Marshal. That's what I'm going to do in this one. The river Isen flows steadily beneath the fading light of dusk. I stand on the island, the ruin of an old outpost, its weathered stone walls long abandoned, now claimed by moss and ivy. This meeting is a gamble. A trader from Tharbod carried my message, promising neither delivery nor acceptance. Yet as I scan the far bank, I see movement. A small boat emerges from the shadows, its oars slicing silently through the water. Thorne steps ashore, his figure lit by the sunset. For a moment, neither of us speaks, Isen's murmur filling the silence. Wulf, he says at last, his voice low but firm. You've got nerve, I'll grant you that, to call me here to this place. I smirk faintly. And yet it seems you thought it worth answering, for here you are, Marshal. So far from the wold. For a moment we study each other, the weight of unspoken words heavy between us. On this forgotten island, my future may be forged or broken. Let us speak plainly, Marshal. We have much to discuss. The terms of treason is an insanely hard sentence. I'm sorry. I intend to take the throne of Rohan, I say plainly. My voice firm. Helm and the House of Eor will pay for what they've done to my family, and I will see justice for my father's blood. When the time comes, I will march with fire and steel. I pause, letting my words settle. I'm gathering support from outside the Riddermark. Those who see the cracks in Helm's reign and are bold enough to exploit them. When the time comes, I need to know if I can count on your support. He does not answer immediately. Instead, he steps closer, tilting his head, his eyes narrowing. You speak boldly, Wulf, but boldness alone doesn't win wars. He paces, his tone measured but sharp. I hold the Wold, the northern gateway of the Mark. When war comes, my loyalty or lack of it will shift the tide. You need me. So I simply ask, what's in it for me? I'm sure I can sweeten the deal. Let's see. I could wed her and make her my future. There's a lot of choices. He's no fool and he won't risk his neck without reason. If I'm to win his loyalty, I must gain it. I must make it worth his while. Land, power, or promises of greater things. All of the Wold and the... Let me see. Dang, so he would have a enormous territory. I feel like that would just be setting us up for future rebellions if I gave him the East Menant and the Wold. I could give him a hook on me, so a hook and then less liberties, which, again, he probably would give himself, like, council rights or something. We're at 39%. So you don't have to select all of them. We don't have to marry this girl if we don't want to. We can secure this alliance without that. That's actually really interesting. This one would lose me a lot of taxes, and that seems like a poor choice. Your voice could shape my rule. We're at 49%. I kind of want to try it just with this. I kind of want to see this. I'm going to offer him no vassal obligations, or very little. And I'm also going to offer him a hook on me once the war is over. Oh, thank God he accepted. Thorne quietly considers my proposal before raising his head slowly, his gaze steady and his voice firm. Very well, Wulf. When the time comes, you will have my support. I'll stand with you against Helm and his house for the betterment of both our positions. He steps closer, offering his hand, the flicker of a smirk touching his lips. We both know what's at stake. I won't pretend this is without risk for either of us. But if you're bold enough to make this move, then I'll be bold enough to follow. Our hands clasp firmly and the deal is done, a secret alliance forged in ambition and perhaps necessity. As the firelight flickers, Thorne nods once, a final gesture of resolve. When the banners are raised, send word. The Wold will march with you. Helm's time grows short. Okay, so we have secured an alliance with the Wold, which is actually huge because they're a pretty big section that will significantly cut down some troops. We now have the option to select a different wife, which is good. So this guy's a king. I believe this guy is also a king. So he's a duke. That guy's a king. This guy is a... I feel like we should maybe go for the king. Uncle Sereth has spoken of his cousin Pedro, Lord of the Saralain, and the troubles that press upon him. His ambition is bold, seeking to command both banks of the Guatho, but his southern neighbors have united their alliance blocking his path. If I were to help him break the deadlock, Sereth believes Pedro would grant me his daughter's hand, sealing an alliance through blood and marriage. Although the Saralain have long been sundered from the Dunlandings, our people share a kindred bond, and there is wisdom in forging alliances both beyond and within. I think this one probably makes the most sense. These people are too remote and distant. They're like sort of just like a separate mountain people. Saralain is over here, to be sure. They're quite far, but we would be helping him reclaim these lands. I think this is who I'm going to go with, the Saralain. And he is a king, so securing that alliance would mean that we'd be like securing the alliance of a king, right? Of a very strong army. That would be, I think this is going to be the one. Gather the men, we ride for Suther. The camp bustles with life as my men prepare for the march across the hills of the Enenwaith. The clang of hammers on iron, the bleating of pack animals, and the shouts of my captains fill the air. I have sent word to Frigthith Pedro, I don't know if that's how you say his name. He now knows I will stand with him, that my blade and my men will help carve a path to his ambition. Why did I take this path? Because strength demands unity, and unity demands sacrifice. To secure my own future, I must secure his first. Still, as I tighten the straps of my gauntlets, my thoughts stray to her, Pedro's daughter, Queen. What will she be like? Will she meet my gaze with pride or disdain? Will she share my fire or resent the bond forged in war? The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear. The march begins, and with it, my claim to vengeance and power takes another step forward. Ready the men. We march at dawn. And we are coming to the aid of our friend here. I feel like he would have been fine beating this. What the hell? There's like 2 enemies. Little battle, little action up here. I like this so far. I always love the story ones that you guys put together for Realms in Exile. They're always so good. Oh no, this poor guy. Oh, GG's, dude. That sucks. Yeah, that's over. Oh, looks like we got it. There we go. Jesus. All right. Hit him up. Hit him all, hit him all, hit him all. Look at that. Done. All right, now we should be able to finally start getting some war score. Jesus. I had to, that took way too long. I had to really coax the AI to go up there. I think this should be it once we're done. That's it, GG. The fires of Pedro's halls burn brightly, the air thick with the scent of roasted meat and spilled ale. Gwyn, I see strength and kindness in you. Let us walk this path together. I am now wed and allied to the kingdom of Saralain. We could try to conquer this guy's duchy, which would be big. He's getting attacked by this dude. Unite the Dunlandings. To bring Rohan to its knees, I must first unite the Dunlandings, ancient enemies of the Mark, scattered and divided by feuds and old grievances. They must stand together, bound by purpose, whether through persuasion or the clash of steel. Only then will I have the strength to challenge Rohan, to shatter its pride, and to claim its throne as my own. Oh, I see. You have to have 6 de jure duchies, and you have to have the title of Dunland, which looks like, oh, this. Okay, so we have to have 6 of these items. Okay, he's 65. We probably want to wait, like, I don't even know how many years this is going to take me to do this. Conquer duchy. I'm going to attack this guy to the south. And then hopefully once we take this, we can have them attack us, and then we can beat them back, basically. Now, it looks like this guy's actually attacking him, because he wants to conquer them. This is sort of what people do here anyway. Yeah, I'm going to call that guy, just to help me, because I don't have enough troops. Word reaches me of an unrelenting and bitter cold sweeping across the northern lands of Middle-earth. Snow falls thick and heavy, covering the plains and mountains in an icy shroud long before the usual time. The people of these lands are said to be suffering terribly, with many freezing to death in the biting winds. The early frost has ruined harvests and left food supplies perilously low. Families huddle together in whatever warmth they can find, but starvation looms large, and fear grows that this winter may bring suffering unlike any in living memory. Traders and travelers speak of empty roads and villages silenced by the cold. The once bustling north reduced to grim endurance. As the snow deepens and the cold spreads, the fate of those caught in its grips grow ever more uncertain. We must brace ourselves for whatever is to come. Interesting. Oh my god. The long winter's like a plague? Oh my lord, let me see that. What does that look like? Whoa, damn, it's enormous. What the hell? Well dang, this does make it a little more difficult, doesn't it? Oh, we did it, we won. Alright, we're done with this. Finish the siege. Oh, she has a baby, which actually that could help us secure more alliance. Ooh, I had a daughter. Securing this alliance may be the smarter one of the two, because that could mean that he would go against him, although he really likes him, so he wouldn't probably betray him. This guy, however, I feel like we'll have a son, so let's just marry her off for the alliance to start off. I think that's a good way to go. That's 2 alliances secured now. These 2 for sure will come to march with me. Jesus, dude, there's so many wars. They're just going ham on each other. Let's do a question of faith, because I'm curious about this. The waters of Loch Thiar shimmer beneath the moonlight, a sacred site where the spirits of Dunland are said to dwell. Though I now hold this place, the people still see me as an outsider, my ways foreign and strange. If I am to lead them, a public act of devotion could shift their hearts, making them more sympathetic to my cause, and prove that my allegiances lie with them, not their age-old enemies, the Rohirrim. Yet such a step carries risks. To embrace their ways may alienate the lords of Rohan, making it harder to win their support for my claim to the throne. It is a gamble, one that might shape my path to power or hinder it. So we can embrace the Mist Lord. I will win the trust of the northern clans and seek to secure alliances through peace and negotiation. However, its emphasis on meditation and restraint may alienate the warriors of the south on Rohan's borders who crave action. Okay. Embrace the Storm Lord. I would rally the warriors of Dunland, forging an army driven by shared fury and proposal, yet this choice risks deepening divisions with the more moderate clans to the north and alienating the Rohirrim entirely. Or, we could reaffirm our faith. While the Dunlandings reject this faith as foreign, my continued devotion to it might strengthen my claim among the Rohirric lords who would be my vassals and show my intent to reclaim my lost blood right. However, this path is likely to win me few friends among the Dunlandings, leaving them skeptical to my true allegiance, potentially weakening the support and leaving me isolated to the lands I seek to lead. I feel like his path, I think the Storm Lord is his best bet. Followers of Krobnazar worship the corvid spirit of mountain storms, a force of vengeance and glory revered by the Dunlandings of the south. They are fierce and unyielding, valuing strength, war, and the settling of old grudges, which That seems perfect to me. The fires across the shore of LotR burn fiercely, their flames casting jagged shadows on the gathered crowd. The air crackles with energy, heavy with the scent of charred wood and damp earth. The shaman steps forward, a towering figure cloaked in dark furs, his head adorned with the skull of a great raven. In his hands, he carries his staff tipped with black feathers that tremble in the rising wind.
Crobnazar watches tonight,
He bellows, his voice like thunder rolling across the loch.
The storm tests all who dare to seek its power. Wulf, if you would claim the spirit's favor, you must prove your strength and will.
The crowd roars in response, their cries raw and fevered. The shaman steps closer, his eyes burning like embers.
Prepare yourself. The storm spares no one who falters.
I am ready. The shaman draws a circle in the dirt, scattering ash and bone fragments within it.
Step into the circle. Show the spirit your worth.
I step forward, meeting the glare of the champion standing across from me. His fists are wrapped in leather, his muscles coiled like a predator ready to strike. The crowd chants, their voices rising in anticipation. The first blow lands hard, sending pain lancing through my ribs, but I do not fail. I strike back, the force of my fury driving him back a step. The fight is brutal, raw, and unrelenting. Blood trickles down my face as the crowd howls their approval. When the shaman raises his staff, the fight ends. The champion steps back, nodding his respect. The crowd erupts, their cries echoing like a storm unleashed. Crobnazar guides my hand. I gain the trait Wounded. The shaman approaches me carrying a heated brand shaped like a raven's claw. The crowd falls silent as the iron glows red.
Crobnazar claims you now. Through fire and blood you are remade.
I steel myself as the brand presses against my shoulder. The pain sharp and searing, the scent of burned flesh rises, but I do not flinch. When it is done, the shaman holds the brand aloft, and the crowd roars their approval.
Kneel.
The shaman commands, and I obey. He places a hand on my head.
Tonight, Wulf is reborn under the storm's shadow. He is no longer a stranger among us.
I rise and face the crowd, my voice cutting through the din.
I swear vengeance and strength to honor the spirit of the storm and those who follow it. Together, we will bring the fury of Crobnazar upon our enemies.
The crowd works itself into a frenzy, chanting the spirit's name, their voices a tempest that fills the night. Once more, I feel at home. I have converted. And I gain Storm Forged Warrior for 10 years, which makes my men-at-arms maintenance minus 10%, title creation cost minus 20%, same faith opinion, and levy size plus 10%. Oh, we have a sword, actually. I didn't know that. The longsword of Westfold Make is an heirloom of King Wulf, the Dunlanding who took battle to the lands of the Forgil for his people. Wulf met an untimely end by Freca of Rohan, and the Dunlandings were deprived of their ancestral lands once again. The sword was made for his coming of age by his father, and embedded in the hilt is part of his childhood practice sword. That's actually really sweet. All right, I've jumped ahead a little bit. Behind the scenes, I learned that you can raid. I'm stupid. I should have known that the Dunlandings could raid. Of course they can. And I have a little bit of money, but I've been mostly hosting events, and we can actually get rid of this, because I just befriended this guy. And I've been hosting events and trying to get people to like befriend me so that I can do the other route, because I'm noticing conquering this would be really hard. It's already been 9 in-game years. And if you befriend them, you can unite them in like friendship or whatever and become the Kingdom of Dunland that way. I have 4 of them. Technically, I have 5. I actually just got this one and I was excited, but then I remember this dude is still alive. So we have to wait for him to die first. But then his son will take over, and I should be good. But ooh, seek aid of the spirits. I've not done this. I'm gonna make a fine offering to the Lord of the Storm. But what is he gonna give me? Oh, spirits, hear me. He gave me. Did they really give me Shrewd? What the hell? For real? Really? Okay. Well, they gave me Shrewd. That's actually crazy. I think my wife is also trying to seduce me. I got appointed Master of the Hunt. I mean, have been going on a couple of those. Have been doing a couple of those bad boys. Oh boy. Oh no, embarrassed. Oh, see, this is what I was talking about. I knew it. Yes. There we go. Okay, I knew she was trying to seduce me. Or like romance me. So now we're soulmates. So now she loves me. Good, good, good. Awesome. See, clearly the marriage was a great choice. What the hell? I didn't know we were pregnant again. I didn't know you were having another one. Although, actually, this helps a lot. This could... Because where are you? Oh, boy. What about matrilinear, though? You would still say yes to that. And you would say yes to that. That's actually really interesting. I didn't know that. I don't think I need to. If we have a son, we'll be fine. And allying ourselves to you would be clutch, I think. So I'm going to... Well, who is this? That guy's up there. I'm going to do these guys. I'm going to do these guys. I'm making a big risk there with that, but I think allying to you would be smartest. Dude finally decided to kick the bucket. Perfect time. It took forever. I'll make this guy that. That took so long. I did not expect him to live for another 4 years. I was like, what the hell? This man will not die. But now we can unite the Dunlandings. To bring Rohan to its knees, I must first unite the Dunlandings, ancient enemies of the Mark, scattered and divided by feuds and old grievances. They must stand together, bound by purpose, whether through persuasion or the clash of steel. Only then will I have the strength to challenge Rohan, to shatter its pride and to claim its throne as my own. You either have to have the title of Dunland, the kingdom of Dunland is able to be created, or you have to have one of these things, which is what I went that route, and our time is now. The land of Dunland stretches before me wild and rugged, now united under my rule. For the first time in generations, the scattered clans bow to a single banner, mine. It is a fragile unity, born not of kinship but of necessity, forged by my will and their hatred of Rohan. But unity alone will not win the war to come. To claim Rohan, I must turn this fragile alliance into an unbreakable force. My warriors must be trained and tempered, our numbers swelled by every able hand the hills can muster. I must also look beyond Dunland to seek out those who share my enmity for the house of Eorl, and forge alliances with those who might strengthen my cause. Victory will come not through haste, but through careful planning and sharp action. I must wait for Rohan to falter, for their strength to waver. Only then will I strike, and vengeance be mine. Victory is so close. I can almost taste it. And we are now King, Wulf, and we can hang our nice banner up here. The house banner, which actually they have a really sick banner, that Wulf. It looks absolutely dope. And now we are the king of the Dunlands. We can offer him vassalage. He would not accept. Or we could just seize our de jure, which is probably makes the most sense because he's quite small. The Riddermark is powerful. What else? What other options do we have? Ah, the swearing of oaths. Oh, this is fun. This is good. I think we need to take the Dunland Fells. Or what does the swearing of oaths actually do? We'll grant you a number of Dunland X. Oh, based on his opinion of you. Why don't you like me now? He wants a seat on the council. Well, of course, my friend. Of course. You all need to have seats on the council. He is my friend. He's unreformed. If I demanded a conversion of you, maybe he would like me more. Because it looks like he'll give me the troops that we need. And we definitely want to sway him then. And I'll ask him to convert. Gain a favor hook on me. Modify his contract. You will have council rights guaranteed. And I can lower your these. I'll do this. There you go. Like me a little bit more now. I think I am going to attack you. And just bring you into my lands. Because you are technically my de jure. And I think it only makes sense that you would come in. So we're taking this, working on that. And then once this is done, we'll do the oaths. And then we'll work on getting the rest of it. But we control pretty much all of Dunland now. Ooh, Harwin invades Gondor, confirming the suspicion of some of the great Haradrim realm of Harwin has begun an assault upon Gondor. They likely seek to wrest the long-contested lands of Harandor from the Gondorians. The invasion comes as little surprise to many, as there have been rumors that great armies and fleets had long been mustering, readying themselves for the great assault. Whether expected or not, Gondor is likely to face a challenging fight against the invaders, who seek to assail Gondor by two avenues. The bulk of the Haradrim army shall proceed via land from the south, while the Corsairs of Umbar have launched their own attack on the Gondorian coastline, likely desiring to capitalize on an opportunity rather than any out of inherent loyalty. Woe upon the wicked Dunedain. So this is how they lose, I believe it's this territory, right? The reports reached me at dawn, trembling words from a scout barely able to describe what he saw. Swarthy men, their skin darkened by foreign suns, camped near the river Isen. With them, monstrous beasts that tower over any horse or man. With little choice, I ride to the river with my retinue, and soon I see the camp for myself. The creatures are real, massive bulks with tusks gleaming in the morning light, their painted handlers moving among them with calm precision. The men, though strange in appearance and tongue, are well armed. One among them steps forward, speaking in broken Westron. Me, Mirachan, we Haradrim, he declares, his voice steady but halting. Our people fight Gondor, trap them, sword sea. Your land we not harm, but we pass. Rohan and Gondor are allies of old. Granting them passage aids my cause, but convincing them to join me could shatter Rohan's strength, even if it would surely earn Gondor's enmity. I could get 800 men, and I would get 10 war mumma kills. Ooh! This is a tough one. Do I accept his aid and take some men from him, or do I just let him go and hope for the best? I feel like I would need those mumma kills. I'm gonna say yes. Help me crush Rohan, and I'll grant you passage to Minas Tirith itself. Yeah, that might have been a foolish move, but I think that's the better choice. A fortuitous raid. Word reaches me of an easterling raid into the lands of Gondor. The force is modest in size, little more than a band of marauders, but their presence is enough to draw Helm's attention and resources. This is no existential threat to the Riddermark, but it is a distraction, one that weakens Helm's grip on the realm. The opportunity is clear. While Helm turns eastward to face these raiders, I could strike at his flank, taking full advantage of his divided forces. Yet such a move carries its own risks. To act rashly without full weighing the cost could turn opportunity into disaster. I must decide how best to use this knowledge. They're raiding for captives. We just got to finish this war. What should we do? I guess House of Warriors makes the most sense for this guy, because that's what they are, right? All right, and we just finished our de jure war. So now we control this land. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, now he really likes me. It's at 78. Now we'll swear oaths. The time draws near to confront Rohan, but loyalty must be sealed in blood and stone. The Ushiryao of Dunland will be summoned to ancient runestones where their ancestors' deeds are etched into the past, and the old gods of the Wild watch in silence. There they will swear on the honor of their forebears, pledging their warriors to my cause and vowing a blood feud against the House of Errol. Though I am an outsider, this oath binds them to me as they bind themselves to their shared hatred of Rohan. The stones will stand as witness to the vows made this day, as will the spirits of their ancestors and the gods who dwell in the mountains and the wind. It'll grant me a number of Dunlander axe hunters. Let the stones bear witness. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and wood smoke as the chieftains and great warriors of Dunland gather, or at least those bold enough to answer my call. Before the towering runestones of their ancestors, weathered by time but unyielding in their presence, the scene is both solemn and tense. One after another, those who have come step forward, placing their hands upon the cold stone. Their voices rise in ancient oaths, invoking the honor of their forebears and the watchful gaze of the gods who dwell in the wind and the mountain. Each vow carries the weight of lives pledged to my cause, binding warriors and fates alike to my banner. When the last words fade into the wind, a silence falls heavy and sacred from among their kin. Warriors step forward, strong, resolute, and sworn to fight for me. Whether few or many, the promises made here will shape the battles to come. The runestone bears their promise. Gods bear witness. Now there's no turning back. For now, the mark is mine, but the weight of my oaths hangs heavy. We gained 300 men. I think I will attack him in a second, but I kind of want to see what happens with this. I don't think these raiders are going to do anything. Oh no, he's ill. We should probably attack. Invade Rohan. Years of exile and struggle have brought me to this moment. From the shadows of defeat, I have forged strength, uniting the clans of Dunland under one banner and seeking allies where once there was only enmity. The time has come to repay the blood debt owed by the House of Errol. I have seen the suffering of the Dunlandings, a people crushed beneath the boots of the Rohirrim for generations. Their plight is my own, their wounds as raw as the ones I carry. This war is not just for vengeance, it is for justice, for an end to their pain and mine. My allies are prepared, my army's eager, and the will of Dunland as sharp as any blade. The Riddermark will fall, and I shall take its crown, not as its oppressor, but as its rightful ruler. The time has come. The war I have prepared for, the vengeance I have longed for is at hand. From the hills of Dunland to the ridges of the Eisen, my banners rise, carried by the hands of those who believe in my cause. As my warband gathers, I sit at my table, sealing the final missives. Among them, one stands apart, the letter to Thorne. His allegiance was hard won. His position within Rohan precarious, but now he must act. My words are direct, bearing no room for doubt. Marshal Thorne, the time is upon us. I call on your pledge. Rally your men and march under my banner. Together, we will bring the House of Errol to its knees. The seal of my house presses into the hot wax, a final mark of the bond between us. The messenger waits, ready to ride. When this letter reaches him, the die will be cast. Send it. There's no turning back now. And we are at war with Rohan, and Marshal Thorne has decided to join us. And we have 3 allies we could call, and I'm definitely going to call in this king, for sure. Not this guy. I'm going to call in this guy, and if I can call in him too. Okay, so I have 3 allies I could call, which will swell our numbers quite dramatically, I think. We'll raise our troops. It looks like the Steward of Gondor actually did end up joining them. That could be problematic. So long as these dudes do okay, it looks like Umbar's declared independence somehow. Or I guess that's probably part of their storyline, because they are independent, obviously, at the time of like the War of the Ring. They only have 8,000 troops. I feel like this could go in our favor. Okay, so it looks like he decided to go this way. I'm going to work on claiming things down here while I wait for my allies to come over. I want everybody over here. It looks like he's done with that. Okay, he finished that raid war. Okay. A little stressful, but it's fine. All right, this 4,000 force is going to be the big deciding factor, I think. This is a little precarious. Could definitely use some guys in here. Oh, thank God. Whew. All right, 4 months on this. I'm going to start taking some stuff. I just don't know how I'm going to take stuff fast enough, because I'm not going to be able to siege Edoras that quickly. What the hell? To the shock of many Erebor Dale among the mightiest and most prosperous realms in all of Rovanion has fallen to Dragonfire. Long had the dwarves in the Northland of Dale grown rich with the prize of Arkenstone being the heirloom of Durin's Lime, a symbol of the wealth of the Lonely Mountain. Yet the riches of the 2 people would be their undoing, for dragons covet gold with a dark and fierce desire. As a hurricane from the north descended Smog, the golden, last of the greatest of the fire drakes of the north. His wrath neither the Dalemen nor dwarves could withstand. Many of the inhabitants of both realms have been killed. Both Dale and Erebor have been destroyed in the attack, with the survivors fleeing into the wilds after being left with no other choice. As Smog rests upon his mountains of gold, much of the Northlands now reel from the events. What? What does that look like? This is the Iron Hills. Oh, wow. That's crazy. It's just gone. Gold beyond measure. Wow. Yep, the dragon smog. I wonder how you do that. Can you like get rid of, can you fight smog then? Is that like an option? All right, we managed to catch this guy over here, and I think honestly this is gonna be to our benefit. Oh geez. We might as well just siege Edoras now, I think. I love how Edoras looks. It looks honestly so sick. I'm a little nervous for this. I just don't know how I'm supposed to, oh god, it's so hard. We really just need to win like a big battle. We keep losing. He's pretty strong, like in a 1-to-1. We can get this. We can do this. Oh my god, what a steal. What a spot, baby. We have to stop him from taking that back. That's like huge. Oh, my son! Yes! Freca! Finally, Jesus. You're gonna have to learn war. Finally, dude. Good God, I've been trying to get a son forever. Beautiful dub. Beautiful dub. Come on. Come on. We captured one of the marshals. Dude. This is crazy. I actually don't know. I've gotten really lucky. This is hard. We've wiped their army twice. We've gotten really lucky. We might actually just have this in the bag now. It's been 4 years. He still has a little more troops than I do. He's not been able to help at all. He's actually losing quite poorly to them. So that could be to our benefit for sure. There we go. Get him in. Lead the forces. Oh my god, we captured the Rohirrim banner. Dude, come on now. Add it to my collection. Come on, baby. Too easy. Actually, it's not. It's quite hard. Oh my god, we did it. We captured... Oh, we captured his son. Hama. Okay. I just want to clarify, now that we've just finished, I had to reload this so many times. Not even just this part, like this war, because this war is hard as hell. I got pretty lucky. For some reason, they wanted to go to my capital. But the entire event chain, it took me forever to get like the right circumstances to where I would befriend all these people. This is not easy. This is very difficult. So if you're like watching this and you're like, that looks not that hard, I assure you that it is. In the dim, cold dungeon beneath Meduseld, Helm kneels before me, his wrists bound in iron. The men who once ruled Rohan with unshakable strength sit in defeat, his pride intact but his throne now gone. Every fiber of my being cries out for vengeance. To strike him down would fulfill the oath I swore and avenge the blood spilled by his hand. Yet as I stare at him, the weight of the crown I fought so hard to claim presses down on me. Killing him would ignite anger among the Rohirrim as a people I must now rule. The thought of releasing him twists in my chest like a knife. It is against every vow I made, but I cannot ignore the power of mercy to strengthen my rule. Still, mercy is not without risks. A man like Helm will not stay idle. Should he gather enough support, this mercy could turn into a blade pointed at my own back. So we can either become Wulf the Merciful, King Wulf the Merciful, mind you, or we can kill him, which I think is probably the best thing. He's been on this quest for vengeance the whole time. I think we have to kill him. My banner now hangs in Meduseld, the throne of Rohan mine at last. As I sit in the hall where Helm once ruled, the door creaks open and Thorne enters with deliberate steps. Wulf, he begins, his tone steady. Your victory is complete. Now we settle the promise made to see you here. I rise to my feet and address all who have gathered in the halls. Marshal Thorne has shown his loyalty to me, and loyalty shall not go unrewarded, as promised. As I give my proclamation, each word draws murmurs from the gathered crowd, yet my voice remains firm, making public promises once whispered in the shadow. Thorne inclines his head, his expression unreadable as he turns to leave the hall. These alliances won me the throne, but will they come to haunt me? In victory, I have made my enemies kneel. Perhaps I have also empowered others who may one day seek to rise. For now, the mark is mine, but the weight of my oaths hangs heavy. He's got low title. Actually, that's not really that bad. He is exempt, but that's not terrible. And the Riddermark is enormous now. It's gigantic. Oh my god, you get your own hall. I forgot that Rohan has its own unique hall. Yeah, and I'm actually going to do that. I think that doing the 2 dynasty banners makes sense because he's technically saying that he's descended from the House of Errol as well, and that this is his descendant, right? It's not just him. Like, it's not just the Dunlandings like that he's descended from. Do we have a crown? We have the wolf's thing. He doesn't wear a crown? The night air hangs still and silent. The only noise that can be heard is the scrape of my shovel dislodging the fresh heaped dirt. Ah, I see. I dug up Helm, and I will use a skull. I will make an artifact of his skull. The Skull Goblet of Helm Hammerhand. Dude, that's so metal. That's the coolest thing ever. I changed his outfit a bit. I like the Crown of Rohan, but I also like the idea of him wearing a big fur cloak to signify like his Dunlanding Rohirrim descent. So he's got like this sort of hybrid thing going on, which I think is really cool. or like a fun idea. Should we raise a runestone to our victory? I definitely think we should raise a runestone to Prince Helm. Yeah, definitely in the capital. Raise one right up here. The Heralds of Gondor arrive in Medusel with all the pomp and airs one expects of the Dunedain. Their cloaks shimmer with threads of silver as their sharp eyes survey my hall. Their leader steps forth, his cold voice as polished as his armor. Wulf of Dunland, he begins. We come on behalf of ruling steward Baron. Long has the House of Errol stood as Gondor's ally, bound to us by the oath sworn on Amon Anwar. But now with your recent ascension, it seems that bond no longer holds. I see their game. They want to remind me of my precarious position. Gondor once ruled these lands as Kalan Narthon, and should I falter, they would seize any chance to see them restored. If I wish to restore the alliance, I must convince them of my trustworthiness and my worth as Rohan's king. Yet to bow to their judgment risks undermining my claim to the throne. My faith is evil. I sided with the Southron. I convinced Thorne to commit treason, and I have killed Eorlings. I'm gonna send him back. There's nothing I can do. Glory is widely known. We have now become illustrious. Very nice. Conquered by claimant. How long have I been king? How long have I been king now? So in 73, I conquered it this year. It still hasn't even been a year. I'm in a precarious position, trying to let my realm like rebuild as my vassals come back. I would like to take just the Eisen from this guy. I don't actually want his title. You can keep this. But I want to revoke this guy's title. I broke my betrothal to him too. Wow. He said yes. That's actually crazy. I could make the title of Isengard. I just have to have 500 gold. So we have to figure out a way to get 500 gold and then we can do it. So the elves are mad that I'm this weird faith. And so they've coming down from their hidden and lofty halls. The elves under Galadriel now march upon us, desiring to remove what they see as a fell threat. It is principally our faith that arrays them against us, as they perceive it as a worship of their oldest foes. If we sincerely repented and rejected the faith, then they would surely show leniency and mercy. Of course, such a betrayal of the faith would surely result in angering many. Yeah, I'm gonna convert. Yeah, I'm gonna convert. So now I'm back to Rohirrim. What a snake. What an absolute. He'll do anything. He'll do anything. He'll be like, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna fight the elves. Are you insane? Gondor invades Rohan. The foolish Dunedain have declared that, with the Rohirrim no longer in control of Rohan, the ancient grant by Cirion the Steward is now invalid. Gondor aims to wrest back its ancient territory through force of arms, and already its armies are mustering, which drive them back and prove that Gondor has lost its lands forever. Oh my god, what the hell? I mean, if we can hold firm, though, this could be huge. Please. Please. Come on, catch him. Catch him. This is stressful, dude. I have to now fight a rebellion on top of this. And they're over there. Oh my god, this is ass. This is total ass. The hell? Where the hell did this guy come from? I think we may be able to pull this off. We may be able to pull this off. I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat them both at the same time. Oh god, oh god, oh god. They haven't taken any lands from me yet, so Gregarious is fine. Gregarious is fine. If I can defeat Gondor, and a rebellion, I mean, that would pretty much solidify it, right? Oh, there's sieging down here. Oh, I'm never gonna be able to do both. My land is too fucking big. My land's too heckin' big, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I somehow managed to avoid a faction because I just kept swaying people and sending them money. There we go. Give me this. You're staying in jail for now. I don't have time to deal with you. If I can beat him maybe 1 or 2 more times, we might be able to get out of this. I cannot believe I've been reloading like crazy trying to get things to work out. No way! We have Mama Kill! What do you possibly have? Oh, this is so infuriating. Okay, well at least they're gonna beat them back. 91%, we just gotta win one more battle, I bet. Come on! Come on, baby! Okay, here we go. This should end it. This should end it outright. Are you for real? I wasted all that time? Just for him to die? He doesn't have a claim on this, does he? Wow, that is the most anticlimactic thing I've ever seen. I cannot believe he just died. I got gypped out of 1,900 gold and lost so many troops because of that. Wow, I'm upset about that. Anyway, let's let me. Oh wait, invite the dwarves to the northern mountains. What the hell? The white mountains that border my realm have in all ages of the world never been settled, not even by the stout folk of axe and craftsmanship, the hardy dwarves. While we ourselves lack the finesse to settle these foreboding peaks and lightless caves, there are sure to be some adventure characters found in the dwarf realms of this world that would be up for the challenge. Huh? Or House Durin. Or House Yuri, House Thrar. I like House Thrar because we did that video with them. But let's do the Durin's folk. My offer goes to the Durin's folk. Okay, we are gonna do this. I'm going to do this for real. I'm gonna get noteworthy because I feel like I've earned it after having to fight off a rebellion, and then Gondor attacking me, all for that to get invalidated is crazy. I cannot believe that we've beat them, and then it didn't even matter in the end. That sucks. So I'm going to do this, because I feel like I've earned it. 1 second. 4 years, my house has proclaimed what the doubters and naysayers refused to accept, that Freca, the founder of our line, was the bastard son of Saralain, the 5th king of Gondor. The blood of Earl flows in my veins as surely as it did in his, though the proud and arrogant have long denied it. Now, with the throne of the Riddermark beneath me and the Freckling's ascendant, I have the power to set the record straight. I will decree it as truth, binding Freca's name to the royal line for all time. We will lose the trait disputed heritage. We will be considered descendant of King Freawine. This is Marshal Freca, who was our ancestor, and we'll get a little bit of renown. Let those who doubted us choke on their pride. The decree has been made. Freca's lineage is now bound to the royal line of Earl. His name etched into the history of the Riddermark alongside the kings of old. In the halls of Medusel, the scrolls of ancestry are redrawn. The skeptics' murmurs are drowned out by my will. The Frecklings shall no longer be pretenders in the eyes of the law. We are kings in truth. As I stand before my gathered court, I know that this decision shapes not just my reign, but the legacy of my house. Should I fully embrace our place as heirs of the Earlings and take their name as my own, binding us inseparably to Rohan's traditions, or should I hold true to the name that Freca gave us, a dynasty born of ambition and fire, and remain a distinct branch of this ancient line? The choice will define my house for all time. We are Earlings and always have been. This way we could just pretend that he became the next king, and now we are no longer the Frecklings, right? Well, I guess he is still technically the Freckling. So he is a legitimized bastard. We apparently don't lose our Freckling dynasty name, even though he was an Earling, but because we're like, I guess we would be considered a cadet branch. Yeah, that's really sick. I'm very satisfied with this. That was really dope. We obviously could do this too, but we don't have the title of Isengard, although we only need 500 gold actually. Maybe we should do that. It's only going to take a couple months, so I'm just going to let that run, and then in a second I'll do that, and then we'll be done with the video. And I've had a whole total blast with this. This was a really fun time. It was really freaking hard. Oh, they're going to set up they're going to live in the glittering caves. That's it. That's really cool. I'll give them a little bit of money. So now I'm going to need a little bit more money. But that's really cool that they're going to live in the glittering caves. The White Mountains have been settled. Best of luck to our new neighbors. Look at this. There is now a colony of the Delving Caves in the House of Durin. The glittering caves are now. That's so cool. They're located behind Helm's Deep under the three peaks. They extend deep under the mountain with many passages, stairs, halls, and chambers. The floors are sandy and the ceilings are high domed vaults. While the walls are polished stone set with gems and crystals and veins of ore, a marvel of the northern world, their beauty might leave even speechless. I gave myself rightful rulers as my second legitimacy or a renown trait because I feel like that makes sense. Dynasty of warriors and rightful rulers. That's really cool. Oh, they count as the Iron Hills. That's neat. Nice. We've waited a little bit. It's been 27 years since the game start, and now we have found Holy Order. That is not what I wanted to click. I have the title of Isengard. Oh, do I have to have this and then another 500? No. How long is this gonna take? About 4 years. We could wait. I'll fast forward until we have 500. He'll be like in his mid-50s. Should be fine. All right. It has been 3 more years. Nothing crazy has happened for real. We can now find the High Kingdom. Well, actually, the only thing that crazy that happened was Azog decided that he was going to attack Lothlorien and got absolutely smacked to the ground. And now Lothlorien is attacking Dol Guldur, which, you know, is inconsequential to what I'm doing down here. I'm going to found the High Kingdom of Uhtred Dunland. Many centuries ago, savage horsemen from the north drove our forefathers from their ancestral homes in the plains. This ancient act of aggression planted a deep yearning for hatred in the hearts of our peoples. Since then, we have aimed to restore what was lost, reclaiming our ancestral birthright. Many have tried in the past, and at times revenge was almost within our grasp. But where Wulf, Freca, and many others failed, I shall succeed. Although I did succeed as Wulf. I became the champion of Dunland, the unifier of the Dunlandings, and I created the High Kingdom of Uhtred Dunland. In a grand procession, my greatest warriors and I ride from Isengard across the Gap of Rohan towards the old capital of the Forgoyle Kings. I ascend to their great hall, now adorned with a wall of spiked Forgoyle heads and the banners of Dunland. Dozens of Dunlanding chiefs from clans all across my realm swear their loyalty to me, and as the elders crown me and proclaim me, I can't read that, of all Dunlandings, I smile knowing that our vengeance is finally complete. We're not going to say that. This is the beginning of a new age for my clan, and the Dunlandings as a whole. Already large groups settlers have crossed the Isen and the Adorn and started pouring into the Westfold. All is not well, for there is still the looming threat of the Southmen beyond the White Mountains and the dark servants of the Red Eye. But today, we shall celebrate our victory. This looks like it was actually from pre-this, but we are now the Unifier. All the festivities across my new domain slowly die down. I have started to convene with my chieftains. We have already formalized many laws, obligations, and pacts as the territories of Dunland and the former Riddermark merge together. The Middle Lands have started to form into a new entity centering around Isengard. The question of a new capital is now in my hands. It is clear that a legendary king should have a seat worthy of his presence. The Great Tower of Orthanc would be an obvious choice due to its central location and strong fortifications watching over all the lands of the Dunlandings. However, I can also choose to instead rule from Freca's Hall, ancient capital of Dunland, because of its historic significance. I could even make the former seat of the four Goyle kings into my own to show them that their dominion has been forever broken and their ancestral halls are mine to wander. I think it should stay as Edoras. And there's even more you can do. You can integrate this area and you can make it even bigger, but I am completely satisfied with this. This was a total blast, and that is going to be it for me. I hope you guys like this video. It's so much fun. I really can't wait to try the other things, and I kind of want to try one as Helm just to see the difference between the two. But this was nuts. We started off as nothing. I had to reload so many times on my own, and I had to fight Gondor, and I had to fight a rebellion, and I somehow managed to avoid them doing a claimant faction. And now we are a Empire title, I believe. Yeah, we are an Empire, and we've combined the Dunland lands with the Rohirrim. We have righted old wrongs. We've had 9 children or 8 children, and we've just, my wife is a drunk apparently, but we've really done the thing in 30 years in game time, and that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I want to thank my channel members for their support. Of course, I want to thank the Realms and Exile team for making such a fantastic mod. You guys have absolutely killed it with this update. Cannot wait to explore more of it in the future. As always, I want to thank my Paladin tier members. Those are Dwayne the Rock Lobster, Zor, Luigi, Dunyal, Valadar, Lackland, Grazo, Titus, and Candriff. You guys are awesome. As always, I'm Sol. This has been Lord of the Rings Realms and Exile. I hope you enjoyed the update on Friday, and I will happily see you in the next one.